Today's topic is critical race theory, and um, the topic is that critical race theory should not be taught in schools. I will argue the affirmative. Critical race theory should not be taught in schools. There, right now, critical race theory is a really hot topic issue. Um, I believe that critical race theory should not be taught in schools for one of two reasons, and one of the reasons is not what you think it is. I don't believe that critical race theory is actually being taught in school right now. There are people that there are some teachers, some rogue teachers that have taken critical race theory elements and have introduced them into some of their classes. And one of the examples was uh, third graders or third or second graders that were being asked to fill out a white entitlement survey, and this is this is misleading. Other examples are some teachers that other examples are some teachers using bits of critical race theory, and the argument is that it's teaching our kids that um, they're racist because they're white, and that's a big that's a uh, that's a big misconception. It's like it's devious in a way that it creates uh, social angst amongst people sending their kids to those schools. And so I really think that um, one critical race theory is not taught in schools. It's taught in law school, and it's only in your third year. So it's the year that you're going to be graduating and going to take the bar. And critical race theory really is about understanding the differences in which brown and black uh, people and Asian people get treated, and uh, ways in which racism is institutionalized. And that's something that lawyers need to know because they're going to be working within those systems for pretty much the rest of their lives. And normally people don't really work in those systems. Um, the only people that are going to be introduced in those systems are criminals, and the usually most people don't really need um, critical race theory training or critical race theory education. I do believe that some critical race theory should be taught in schools. Like, for instance, the teacher who had the teacher or the student ask why people were so mean to the little girl that was being escorted, the very first black person to ever be educated um, with white people, and she felt like she couldn't tell the kid um, why those people were so mean to this little black girl. I really think that those are examples in which teachers should gauge and should kind of figure out if it's appropriate for their class at the time. And I don't really classify that as critical race theory. Critical race theory is about institutional racism. And so I really feel like um, most of the societal angst when it comes to critical race theory is more or less a scare tactic, usually from Republicans who want people to think that the woke teachers are indoctrinating their youth. And I think critical race theory is just that. new hot topic term that Fox News, all the really right wing um, news pundits are really pushing it, and I don't think that most people, especially Republicans, really know exactly what critical race theory is, but it has to do with race, and so it's a really good way of uniting people that might pay particular importance to race, and I think it just goes on to prove that, like, um, it's pretty much just a hot topic, hot button issue, and it's a way to press people's buttons and get them all excited over really nothing. Because I don't really think teachers really are um, teaching critical race theory, and I mean that's why I really believe that critical race theory shouldn't be taught in schools, because it's really not. I have um, I have a friend who is currently a teacher in high school in Oregon, and she gets emails from parents that are saying, I don't want you teaching my children critical race theory. And my friend's response to that was, well, that's good, because if I was qualified to teach critical race theory, I wouldn't be teaching at a high school. I would be at a law school teaching there. So I really do think that, like, for one, teachers really aren't qualified to teach critical race theory. So I really don't think that they should be teaching it. Two, I think that um, all of this is really an exaggeration, and it's maybe done by maybe a couple teachers who kind of were out of their depth, that kind of did it, but really didn't realize what they were doing at the time. So I think those examples are kind of one offs. And three, I think critical race theory is a scare tactic created by right wing conservatives to get people into um, jumping into the societal race wars that we're having to deal with now. So I am very happy to stand in affirmation that critical race theory should not be taught in schools, because I really don't believe it is. Thank you. Have a good evening.